Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Dr. Kimberly Mayfield, and I'm the chair of the Education Department at Holy Names University. And we are really excited and honored to be able to co-sponsor this event with the Oakland Post. I was recently named to be the primary investigator for the Teacher Apprenticeship Program. So these red document holders that you have information about the Teacher Apprenticeship Program, which is a program that is designed to recruit local citizens from Oakland, West Contra Costa, and Hayward to work in those school districts in secondary schools. So if there's anybody interested in doing that, please see Stacy Johnson in the back. She's going to be right next to Nakia Moore. Nakia, can you wave your hand again? And Nakia Moore is the admissions counselor at Holy Names for the Adult Degree Baccalaureate program. So if there's anyone in here interested in finishing their baccalaureate degree, or if they know someone that might be interested, please get some information from Nakia. So I'd like to start briefly by talking a little bit about what got me into education and some issues and joys that I see happening currently. I started out as a special education teacher at John Swett Elementary School in Oakland way back in the 90s. And in the 90s, teaching didn't have as many tensions as I feel that it has now. I was able to learn my craft. I was able to love my students without the threat of being non-reelected because I wasn't hitting everything just right the first time that I did it. Now, I was a little bit more fortunate than some of my colleagues because my mother had been a teacher in Oakland since 1967. She retired in 1993, and she learned to teach at Grambling State University. But my mom learned to teach at Grambling, which for many, you know, that was considered the Black Teachers College for Black people who wanted to teach. So my mother was able to really educate me on how to be patient with students and how to get the best that was in the students to show up in the classroom. So I was really delighted to be able to have the chance to do that. And I ended up teaching at John Swett for about 7 years. And then I earned a doctorate at the University of San Francisco. And I went into the academy. And so as a professor who trains people to teach, one of the things that we look for in our program are people who absolutely love children. So are there people in this audience who absolutely love children? I see some parents out there, so I'm hoping to see hands up. Hoping to see hands up. So we look for people who love children because that is something that you cannot teach. We need people to walk into the classroom who are able to do that and who already have that. And then once you love to teach children, then we can teach you the technical pieces. So one of the things that is really different now about teaching as I see it than when I got into the profession in the 90s is that it's really hard, it's much harder to get into the profession than it used to be. So there are standardized assessments that are barriers to the profession for many people, particularly people of color, because there is a financial impact to those standardized assessments. So there's the CBEST and there's also the CSET. And because they're standardized assessments, they're inherently biased. Now, we have been really fortunate in Oakland to be the beneficiaries of 2 federal grants that help to minimize some of that bias by providing test prep assistance to people who want to be teachers, as well as the reimbursement of the test fees. So these programs actually came out of work that we were able to do during the Dellums administration. And you'll remember that there were about 40 community-based task forces. And I was really honored to lead one of the task forces, which was the Effective Teachers for Oakland Task Force. And our main issue for that task force was to figure out how we could get local citizens to get into the classroom. How could we create a local, permanent, diverse teaching force that lived in the city and who would commit to children for at least 5 years? So that work laid the foundation for what came next, which was the Teach Tomorrow in Oakland program. And that program got a $1.2 million grant from the federal government to do some of what I said, to minimize the impact of the test costs on local citizens and to do test prep. So TTO was really focused on getting teachers for the Oakland Unified School District, and it has ended its 5th year of existence. And over the 5 years, I'm really happy to say that we were able to place 127 teachers. And the TTO teachers made a 5-year commitment. So that would provide stability at our local schools around the teaching force. So about 4 years into the TTO grant award period, Holy Names was able to write for another federal grant called the Teacher Apprenticeship Program. Now, TTO would place teachers in K through 12 settings. The Teacher Apprenticeship Program focuses on placing teachers in middle and high school. And its focus is the Greater Bay Area with West Contra Costa, Oakland, and Hayward. So we're able to provide assistance to get through the CBEST and CSET, which means pay somebody to sit in front of you and tutor you so that you can do well on the test. And it also means that you get reimbursed your test fees. So those are two things that I think will help to create more stability and hopefully more joy in the classrooms. For us at Holy Names, and for me in particular, teaching is very personal because I have an 11-year-old son. And I was happy that he was able to go to an Oakland public school for elementary school, but it became more challenging to find a place where my husband and I thought he would thrive as a middle schooler. So we were able to find a great place in Oakland that is an independent school, which is Ile-Omade. So there are a lot of options for kids to be educated. Some really great ones are in the public schools, but some really great ones are also in the private schools. And now, who'd like to speak next? Is it Dr. Epstein?
Yes.